silence. And solitaire's the only game in town, and every road that takes him down, while life goes on around him everywhere. He's playing solitaire, and keeping to himself begins to deal, and still the king of hearts is left concealed. Another losing game comes to an end, and he deals them out again. A little hope goes up in smoke. Just how it goes without saying. There was a man, a lonely man, who would command the hand he's playing. And solitaire's the only game in town, and every road that takes him down. And by himself it's easy to pretend he'll never love again. And keeping to himself he plays the game. Without her love it always ends the same, while life goes on around him everywhere. He's playing solitaire. Solitaire's the only game in town, and every road that takes him down, while life goes on around him everywhere. He's playing solitaire. So this is always unedited and fresh, and I realized I sang undifference instead of indifference. I've never pronounced it that way in my life.
Sounds like a valid
In case
word.
you're thinking undifference, and his undifferent, I don't know how I did that or why.
It's just a Canadian
My mouth
accent.
just, no.
That was a special request, wasn't it, Patricia?
That was Jeff and Andy have gifted us with his choice of a Carpenters song and my choice of a French song. French song's already up, so link
Go check that out.
there. And this is Matt's choice of a Carpenters song, which is also a Neil Sedaka song.
It is. Very good composer, Neil Sedaka. It's got a slight element of the Burt Bacharach in there, but that was floating around the water in 1972. And I would like to point out,
Neil has a show.
Neil Sedaka is on YouTube.
He is a regular show.
He did it regularly during COVID, but
He
he
still
uploads
does.
every now and again now.
About every month.
What I was going to say is that I was using a musical technique called
Yes.
Wait a second. It's called rubato.
Oh.
And some people in the pop rock world may see that as not giving good time, but it's actually a different approach, and therefore you can bring out the music. So when it goes,
I didn't notice that being so different.
you can have a slight pause, you see. Some other people call that word painting, but I'd just like to point that out.
If
Lest
you
you
have two
think
people.
that I can't go.
He can. You who are out there hiring people. Yeah, he can definitely do that.
And if you like that kind of thing, check out this series called Living Room Request. on Patricia
Well, if you've got a
Hammond's
duo,
songs.
you've got that freedom to do all sorts of
That's why
rubato.
I love it. In the band,
A
you
whole
can't
band,
improvise like that.
That would be a mess.
You can try, and believe me, years of experience say it kind of doesn't work. So thank you so much to Jeff and to Andy for those requests. If you'd like to request your own, please go to patriciahammond.com/request, or Patricia's favourite bit.
Oh, gee.
Click this QR
Don't
code.
ruin everybody's life by showing this thing. It's time now that we talked about your musical device.
So the keen observers amongst you will have noticed that I'm playing this giant archtop big band guitar from the 1940s.
Still teasing you.
And I'm playing it with a capo. And a lot of people think, oh, if you play a capo, you can't play. You just can't play it. But
This man is weird. Just saying.
I like to use it as an actual timbrel and resonance device. A bit like when you retune the bottom string or so of the guitar, or a bit like when you change to a thinner plectrum. It's all about the sound. Now, I don't really have a flat top 6-string guitar, acoustic guitar, but very different sound. So obviously I can play the same key that obviously I can play it normally.
Isn't that nice?
But the strumming different. Patricia, you want to know as well?
I
don't
do.
you?
I'm watching.
So
I'm all a dog.
You may wondered this at home. I'm sure over half of you can strum chords on the guitar, but if you can't, you may hear a difference between voicings such as this.
Okay.
And then if we take it off and play similar-ish chords.
It's so subtle. A difference. Okay, it's more echoey.
Very subtle.
It's more
slightly
echoey.
more resonant because I can use the fundamentals of the key that we're playing in, be it in this particular case F major. It's a bit like the harp guitar theory. You've slightly got the fundamentals of these ringing when I play, more so than when I play the exact chord here. Very subtle, but it does.
It's wetter.
It is, and there's also a degree of
Subtle.
of play that I can have. So like on this note, which would be an open A in normal guitar tune, or B flat in this F key, we can play chords like, which I wouldn't be able to do without the capo, because I'd have to play.
Okay, so it opens up other possibilities.
So I would say
because it
basically
allows you
when
to
I play the
make
guitar
different hand shapes
in all
according-
12 keys, but it sounds more jazz because it sounds more closed and less resonant.
Okay.
But still all the notes
Okay.
are there. But when I play with a capo,
It makes the technique hidden somehow. A little bit.
sounds more like ringy.
Yeah, it
But
does a bit.
but I admit, on this particular application, sorry, it's gone out of tune now, but it's less noticeable than other ones.
Yeah.
But comment below if you can tell the difference. But like we can play this in any key, and I can play it in any key on the guitar. Play it up here.
Okay,
play
what
it
was the
down
one
there.
what was the one we tried?
B
It was
flat.
way up.
But do you mean? Oh, I can demonstrate that. So B flat with the capo would be like.
We first tried it this key.
Wait a second. No, it was B flat, wasn't it? So I played it on the 3rd fret, I think.
God, it's
Uh,
3D chess.
so
A lonely man who lost his love through his indifference.
so there's those chords there. You're gonna make it very loud because it's on the torque setting. So we got
Sorry.
this. So if we compare
You
that
nearly had that.
without the capo now, so
Gosh, it sounds so 60s folk.
right, so you get the point, right? So now
It
we'll
really
now we'll
does.
play it like this.
Oh, way different. Okay, in that key, that really demonstrates the difference. A lot more, I think. What do y'all think?
obviously I can still play music, but it's like
Yeah.
most people go, guitar, playing it in B flat, like, so that is why.
Yeah, okay.
But
well,
I usually use it as an arrangement timbral device.
it's doubly confusing because, of course, he's got perfect pitch, so he's playing he's
I
playing
can
the
only think of it
fingerings
in
for
the real-
something, and
the sounding pitch.
there's several things like it's
It's
like
like a thumbnail.
oh right. Oh.
I can only think of it at the sounding pitch. I can't see it as a transpose. That, to me, when people say, I'm playing G, it's not, it's just A flat. Or if the capo's here and they say, I'm playing E, it's not, it's A. It's just A. The notes are A, E, A, C sharp, E, A. Do, 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 do,
That level of consciousness and
that's
awareness
how they are on the
coupled with
keyboard.
all this stuff going on, layering, is crazy.
But that's been an arranger,
and
not a
of course,
guitarist.
yeah, and of course he's not reading the key that this is written in either, because it's gone. If I sang what Karen Carpenter sings, which is going, what okay, remind me how low. There was a man, a lonely man. Different islands. Okay, silence.
Yeah, it's one semitone lower or a half step lower.
And solitaire. I can actually do it now.
But we did it in F now, so it's too late.
Whatever.
Well, it goes lower than that, of course, doesn't it? Because it goes to.
Yes.
That's the lowest notes.
Within his side.
Anyway,
We did this at a piano at the hospital where we work, and once a week. And a man came up. I don't know if he was a lonely man or not. Anyway, the man came up and he said, he said I had a mellifluous voice.
we like that word.
We liked that a lot.
It's a good identification compared to a lot of voices that are no longer with us versus the ones that are. And mellifluous. What's the
mellifluity?
Is that the noun?
Mellifluousness. I think it's mellifluousness. I think it is.
Mellifluous is not mellifluousness is not trending in this millennium.
I find this well, maybe it is. Maybe it's making a comeback.
Well, I would say the closest mainstream, major, world famous British singer who sings longer notes than average was probably on the playing 4-note chord, probably Adele. But she still takes quite long breaks, doesn't she? But she does sing quite long notes
Long
sometimes.
phrases, yeah.
But she doesn't sing as long as this.
She'd probably do a darn good job of this.
I think she probably likes the song.
I find, yeah, it's a very interesting text, I think, because he lost his love through his indifference. So basically, it's his own fault, and we all know someone. We all know someone who is their own worst enemy, but it doesn't make it any less sad. In fact, in many ways, it's more sad because they're their own worst enemy, and so it's kind of a.
I wonder about the story. Did Richard and Karen just like kind of listen to Neil's music and know him and be like, yeah, we should do that? Or did he say, hey, this is sad, you should sing it? And she was like, oh, thanks, man.
Well, I mean, it really does. If you are celebrated for your low notes, it really has a way of celebrating those low notes, because every sort of,
especially with the microphone.
That's why I was so particular about getting the right key, because those low notes have to really wallow. They're it just, everything leads towards that low note. Every road it takes him down.
It's a great
down.
painted.
It's really good.
It's also quite romantic. It's quite Rachmaninoff. If you can imagine when I play this on the piano, it ends up going quite Rachmaninoff. It's my default. The repeated notes are very pianistic. And the da 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 da. This would also be great on the mandolin.
Music it's reminiscent of. There is a classical piece of music that comes to mind, like a big symphonic work.
He also sounds a bit like da-dum 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 da-dum.
Yeah.
Sounds a bit like Chopin.
Yes, that's the one. Yeah, was it the military etude or something? Revolutionary etude, isn't it? That's the one. I do think of that. Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
We must end the video very shortly.
We could talk forever.
If you're still here, type military etude in the comments and share the video with your friends or people that you are acquainted with on the internet and around about your local area, because we would like to continue living room requests. Costs only £40 a request. See you later.
Thank you.
Bye bye.